Got it. All right. Thank you. All right. Bye. Yeah. All right. Hello, everybody. Nate Foy here from Times Square. We have the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade coming up, and then here at Times Square on New Year's Eve. I'm sure you've seen on TV, tons of people, for reasons that I'll never understand, decide to bring it. And particularly today, what I'm interested in, and a story that I've been pursuing for months and actually really years, is our country's drone defense capabilities. So, for a big event here at Times Square or for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, we are seeing new drone technologies emerge in Ukraine and Russia in the war that it's unsettling and it's rapidly evolving, which then changes what's required to defend against those technologies. So this is something that I first noticed when I went to cover the war in Ukraine, and they have swarming Shahed Iranian-made drones, and it provided quite a challenge for soldiers on both sides of the war, frankly. But I was seeing it from the Ukrainian perspective in Kiev. So I became really interested in this, and I wanted to understand what our country's air defense capabilities are. And most of our systems are built to go after, say, a missile, a singular target. And what we're seeing in Ukraine is swarming drones, and it's particularly scary because these drones are so much cheaper to make. So a bad actor theoretically would be able to acquire lots of drones and launch, say, 800 of them with explosives, and that would be a major challenge. And some drone experts tell Fox that right now in the United States, we would not be able to handle that. However, I did meet with the FBI here in New York, the counter drone teams, and they have confidence that they'll be able to handle any possible drone threats that may arise during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or another big event. One of the main reasons why is because they have a temporary flight restriction. So any drone that violates that airspace, they can safely assume that it shouldn't be there because it shouldn't. And then they'll take it down through electronic means. But they do that. Um, they don't use kinetic interceptions because of concerns about collateral damage on the ground. Now, back to the technology that we're seeing in Ukraine and Russia, they're switching frequencies, which makes it really difficult to electronically take down a drone. And then we're also seeing fiber optic drones that are essentially unjammable. So the only way to take it down would be a kinetic strike, which is something that the FBI, again, generally doesn't do. So this poses a real threat, and the Trump administration is investing in it. Recently, $500 million to DHS to beef up the local drone defenses, and we're seeing that play out already in our conversations with the FBI counter drone team. They told us that they recently graduated two NYPD officers from their essentially a drone school in Huntsville, Alabama. Which another part of this to keep an eye on moving forward is right now because the airspace is federal. A federal agency would be required to take down a drone, and it's something that state authorities actually can't do. So here in New York, the NYPD has worked pretty hard lobbying to try to get that authority. And the FBI wants them to have that authority as well, not to completely delegate the problem, but rather to work together. So that's what they're doing at this facility in Huntsville, Alabama, is they're teaching local departments how to use the federal technology so that if Congress acts and it becomes sort of a joint authority, that they would be able to work together and safely take down some of these possible threats. And here in the United States, of course, there's, you know, tons of football games every Sunday, a lot of big events, concerts that could be, potential security risk. And then we have some global events coming up with the World Cup next year and then the Olympics coming up in 2028. So those provide, a risk, honestly, at this point. And we spoke to Fox News contributor Brett Velikovich, who I first met in Ukraine. He's in Ukraine right now, actually. He's a drone expert. He is an authority in this space, and he tells us that the United States doesn't have the ability to handle these swarming drones or these fiber optic drones. He says that if he and a couple guys got in a boat in the Potomac, that they would be able to overcome the air defense systems at the White House. That was the example that he gave. So that's obviously very concerning to hear. The good news is the Trump administration is investing in this. According to Velikovich, it's not happening quickly enough. So this is a threat that has already evolved so much since 2022 in Ukraine. And the uses for these drones are continuing to evolve. And keep in mind, a lot of these drones are essentially repurposed film drones. So they're super cheap. They can be launched in unison, 800 or more, which would require air defense capabilities that right now, in populated areas at least, would be a major, major problem for us here in the U.S. So, yeah, the point of the story today is to explain a little bit about what the FBI is doing with the new resources from the Trump administration to solve this problem, but also to communicate to you guys how real of a problem this is and how urgent it is, and what will be required to solve it. So, we've had 3 hits on the channel so far today. No more hits scheduled for now, but that could always change, of course, with news developing. But for now, Nate Foy live here in Times Square. Hopefully, this is something that we don't wake up and see an attack and then think, oh man, we could have done something to solve this. So hopefully, we can get ahead of this issue to the point where it's not going to be a problem at all. All right, we'll see you guys.